The Italian language is really rich in colorful expressions to express feelings and emotions. So today I want to share with you some of the most common ones so that you can sound more natural in conversation, and also you will be able to recognize them when native Italian speakers use them. These are called idiomatic expressions, and they are phrases that usually don't have a direct translation to English, so you really need to learn them and know them in order to be able to use them. As always, I'm also going to provide you an example sentence so you can see these expressions used in real context and you will be able to understand them even more deeply. Also, I prepared a free PDF version of this lesson that you can download for free. So just click on the link that you will find in the description below this video. Allora, iniziamo. Let's begin. Let's start with a couple expressions, idiomatic expressions to express happiness and joy in Italian that are very much used in everyday life in Italy. The first one I want to share with you is essere al settimo cielo. Let's write this down. Essere al settimo cielo. Now, this literally means to be on the seventh sky. And in English, this probably would translate in to be over the moon. So this is the perfect example of what I was just saying, that idiomatic expressions usually don't have a literal translation to other languages. They are just a unique way of phrasing a concept, a feeling in that language. So the equivalent meaning in English would be to be over the moon. But in Italian, we express that with a different phrasing, which is essere al settimo cielo. So as in English, we use this expression to express an extreme happiness, an happiness you really cannot contain. So it takes you to the seventh sky. That's the idea. Okay, let's see this with a real sentence, from like a sentence you will hear in real life. Let's suppose we want to say they were over the moon for the birth of their child. That in Italian would be erano al settimo cielo per la nascita del loro bambino. Ok? Erano al settimo cielo per la nascita del loro bambino. I want you to notice that when you use this expression, you need to use essere, and that will change depending on who you're talking about. In this case, you're talking about they were, erano, but the phrase al settimo cielo stays the same. You don't change that, okay? So if you want to say I am over the moon with this expression, how would you say that? Sono, that changes, al settimo cielo. Sei al settimo cielo. Siete, you all, al settimo cielo for this video, aren't you? Siete al settimo cielo? Okay, that's my point. Kidding aside, scherzi a parte, that's my point. In this phrase, you only change essere, you conjugate that, but al settimo cielo does not change. Andiamo avanti. Another very common expression to express joy and happiness is fare I salti di gioia. This is a delightful expression in my opinion. Fare I salti di gioia. That literally means to do jumps of joy. So this is exactly the same as to jump for joy in English. We just say to do jumps of joy. As I always say, fare is the parsley of the Italian language. We use that all the time, everywhere. So instead of saying to jump, we say to do jumps of joy. But it's exactly the same meaning as the English version. And this is a beautiful sentence that we use to express such a happiness and excitement that we cannot contain, and we have to physically manifest that with jumping. Okay, let's make an example sentence with this. Let's suppose we want to say he jumped for joy for his promotion. How would you say that? Allora, it would be ha fatto, he jumped, so ha fatto I salti di gioia per la sua promozione. Ha fatto I salti di gioia per la sua promozione. Again, I want you to notice that the only part that I changed was the verb fare. I conjugated fare to match the subject, he, and to match the tense. Jumped, so passato prossimo in this case. Ha fatto, but i salti di gioia stayed the same. Ha fatto i salti di gioia per la sua promozione. Good for him. Buon per lui. Okay, let's move on with more idiomatic expressions for feelings and emotions in Italian. Now we're going to see one that's used to express sadness. This is one where I see when some of my students want to use this phrase, they usually make a mistake because again, this is an idiomatic expression, and although you have one very similar in English, it's not exactly the same in Italian. This expression is the one to translate to have a broken heart. Now, I bet that if you try to translate this to have a broken heart, you will probably use rotto. Giusto? Be honest, non c'è problema, there's nothing to be afraid of, it's normal. You probably know rotto as broken and you will want to use that in this phrase. Unfortunately, it's not correct, because for this phrase we use a very specific version of broken, which is spezzato. So to say to have a broken heart in Italian, that is avere, okay, no big surprise here, il cuore, again, we could have guessed that, but we say avere il cuore spezzato, spezzato. Spezzato, now if you look it up on the dictionary, it does mean broke. It does means broken, sorry. But it's a more specific form of broken because it means broken in pieces, spezzato. This comes from the verb spezzare, which means to break in pieces, and for example is used for bread. Spezzare il pane literally means to make in pieces. Pezzo means piece in Italian, so spezzare means to make in pieces. And that's the one that we use for this expression. So remember, we don't say avere il cuore rotto, we say avere il cuore spezzato. Again, I hope you will never need this one, but it's good to know. So let's suppose we want to make an example sentence with this expression. Let's suppose we want to say the loss of his beloved dog broke his heart. That's definitely a case where you may need that phrase. So that in Italian would be la perdita del suo amato cane gli ha spezzato, no, that's not right, scusate, sorry guys, spezzato il cuore. La perdita del suo amato cane gli ha spezzato il cuore. Poverino, poor guy. So what I want you to notice here is this. In Italian we say the event, in this case the loss of the dog, la perdita del suo amato cane, broke the heart to him. That's why we're using gli. La perdita del suo amato cane gli ha spezzato il cuore. So with spezzare il cuore, we need to use the indirect pronoun. Spezzare il cuore a qualcuno, a lui, to him, gli. Okay. Let's move on to another expression. This time we're going to talk about an expression that's used for express anger and frustration, and this is very colorful. It's a very typical Italian expression. If you want to express the fact that you're so angry, something made you so angry, so frustrated, we use this expression. Avere, let me say that aloud first. Avere il sangue alla testa. Avere il sangue alla testa. That literally means to have blood to your head. Now, I think we always have blood to our head, but what that means is that it's like it's trying to describe physically like a rush of blood, of extra blood to your head because you're so angry. You know how when someone is very angry, they can become red in their face. That's exactly the meaning of this expression. You're so angry that really you feel like you have extra blood in your head. So that's an expression that we have in Italian, and we do use that when needed. So let's see an example sentence for that. Let's suppose we want to say, after losing the train because of traffic, that's something that can make you very frustrated. After losing the train because of traffic, He had blood in the head, literally. Okay? So that would be dopo, let's type this first. Dopo aver perso il treno per colpa del traffico, aveva il sangue alla testa. Dopo aver perso il treno per colpa del traffico, after missing the train because of traffic, aveva il sangue alla testa. He had blood to his head. Ok, molto bene. Let's learn a few more. Let's move to more positive emotions. This time I want to teach you an idiomatic expression to express surprise in Italian. And this is really nice. Rimanere a bocca aperta. Rimanere a bocca aperta. This literally means to remain mouth open. Rimanere a bocca aperta. In English, you'll probably say to remain speechless. So in Italy, we highlight the physical expression. Okay, to remain with your mouth open because of the incredible surprise that you just had. So this is perfect to use when you want to say that you were really amazed, really surprised by something, usually in a positive way. Okay, let's make an example sentence. Let's suppose we want to say, we were left speechless. That's probably how you would say that in English. We were left speechless by the breathtaking view. Imagine yourself, you're just visiting Italy, you're just visiting a new place, and you are speechless because you just saw an incredible view. This is the expression you would use. So how do we say we were left speechless by the breathtaking view? Then in Italian would be siamo rimasti a bocca aperta per il panorama mozzafiato. And mozzafiato is a word that deserves a video on its own, probably. Mozzafiato means breathtaking, usually literally breath cutting, mozzafiato. Quindi siamo rimasti a bocca aperta per il panorama mozzafiato. Ok, molto bene. Let's learn a few more expressions. We have 2 more to go. Next one is about love and affection. Of course, we do have a lot of idioms about love in Italian. I'm going to share with you one that's very common and very useful to know. And that's the equivalent of to have a soft spot for someone or also for something. So again, this is one of those where you see the difference between the phrasing in Italian and English. We don't say to have a soft spot. If you say that literally, it's weird. We say avere un debole per. Avere un debole per. Literally to have a weakness for. And I think you do have this expression, to have a weakness for, in English, but we don't have to have a soft spot for. So we use this with that meaning too. You can use this expression both for people. So when you want to say that you like someone, not as so much to say that you are in love, innamorato di loro, of them, but that, you kind of like them. So that word would be, that example, if we want to make an example sentence, we want to say, for example, my friend Carla has a soft spot for Brad Pitt. So she's not really in love with Brad Pitt, but she has a weakness for him. And believe it or not, Brad Pitt is very popular among Italians too. So this sentence would be la mia amica Carla, no, Carla needs to be capitalized. La mia amica Carla ha un debole per Brad Pitt. Ok, la mia amica Carla ha un debole per Brad Pitt. What I want you to notice, as we said for previous ones, but it's worth repeating, I'm only changing the avere part to match Carla, my friend Carla. I'm not changing the rest. Un debole per is an expression that stays the same whatever the subject is. Va bene? Perfetto. Now let's make an example sentence where you don't have a soft spot for someone, but for something. So let's suppose we want to say, I have a soft spot for dark chocolate. Vero? Ok, un pochino, un po', a little bit. So how do we say that? Ho un debole per il cioccolato fondente. Cioccolato fondente. That's how you say dark chocolate in Italian. Ho un debole per il cioccolato fondente. There you have it. So you can use this expression both for people and for things you like. Molto bene. Okay, guys, let's see one more idiomatic expression to express feelings in Italian. And this time we're going to talk about fear and anxiety. A very common expression that you may hear in Italy is the expression tremare come una foglia. Tremare come una foglia. This means to tremble, tremare, like a leaf. Tremare come una foglia. This is not nice and like it expresses a negative emotion like fear, anxiety, but the expression to me is beautiful because it really makes you think of a leaf that trembles because of the wind. Bellissima, beautiful expression. So how do we use this? We use this when we want to describe like the physical instability that often accompanies moments of great fear or nervousness. So you're trembling, you're shaking. That's tremare come una foglia in italiano. So let's make an example sentence. Let's suppose we want to say our dog was trembling like a leaf because of the fireworks. That would be il nostro cane tremava come una foglia a causa, or let's say per, it's easier, so per I fuochi d'artificio. Il nostro cane tremava come una foglia per I fuochi d'artificio. Our dog was trembling like a leaf for the fireworks. Molto bene! These were 7 idiomatic expressions for feelings and emotions in Italian. These are very peculiar phrases that we have in the Italian language, and they are worth knowing to sound more natural if you start using them and to be able to understand more when native Italian speakers use them, because these are very much used in everyday conversation. As always, let me know which one was your favorite one, which one was new to you in a comment below this video. Also, don't forget to download the free PDF for this lesson. Just click on the link in the description below. Buona giornata e a presto. Ciao da Valentina.